Okay, continuing to talk about the aliyahs to the Torah, and so one of the issues in regards to aliyahs is that we know that they made a rule already that they should call up people Kohen Aliyah Yisrael, right? And although really in theory they could call for the first aliyah the biggest Talmid Chacham in the room, right, the biggest scholar. But then, so you say, we're calling that guy. Well, wait a second. So you're saying he's the biggest scholar. What about me? And then you're going to have all kinds of fights and, get into all kinds. So they just, let's just Kohen Aliyah Yisrael, right? We won't have any issues with that. We'll call Kohen Aliyah Yisrael and there'll be no issues. And really, originally it could have been Kohen Aliyah Yisrael, Kohen Aliyah Yisrael. So on a Shabbos, if you've got 7 aliyahs, you could run through like that. But they decided a long time ago that it was only going to be Kohen Aliyah Yisrael, and then after that, only Yisraelim until you get to, Achron, until you get to Maftir or extra aliyahs, so then you can have a Kohen again, but only was to just call Yisraelim after that. And of course, the Maftir could be, any Kohen Levi or Yisrael. And therefore, for that reason, even if you have a Kohen who doesn't really know anything, doesn't know very much Torah, whatever, but still he's called up before Yisrael, even Yisrael Talmid Chacham. Of course, if you had a choice in a perfect world, if you had a Kohen who's a Talmid Chacham and a Kohen who's not a Talmid Chacham, and Kohen, so the Kohen Talmid Chacham would take preference. But as we mentioned already, every shul has its own system, and the Gabbai has its own system, and in order to keep the peace, it's much more important than all of these order issues. So a lot of times, you're going to call up somebody who hasn't gotten aliyah in a while, or for whatever reason, it's his birthday, whatever reason the person wants the aliyah. So a lot of times, for Lamana Shalom, some of these issues in terms of order will fall to the side. Now, what happens if you called a Kohen Aliyah by accident for Shvi? A mistake. We thought it was Achron already. The Gabbai has so many aliyahs and what's going on, and he made a mistake. So he called him for the 7th aliyah. So what's supposed to happen is the Kohen is supposed to come up because you called him up, and then you call somebody else, another Yisrael. The Yisrael will be Shvi, and the Kohen will do the Maftir. Right? Of course, that could really throw things off. Also, you got somebody else who already paid big bucks to do the maftir, and he's sponsoring Kiddush, and you got all kinds of issues that may come up. But again, in theory, the Kohen, so let him do maftir. I mean, I don't know how to do haftorah. Oh, get somebody else to read the haftorah. You do the bracha. Things you can come up with solutions. But if it's impossible for whatever reason, and he's already up there, so you don't send him down. It's the 7th, like we said, originally it could have been Kohen Aliyah Yisrael, so it's already been a lot of Yisraelim in between. So okay, so you call the Kohen for Shvi. It's possible to do that too. So just keep in mind, so a lot of times, so you want to find somebody who, let's say you have a haftorah, so if somebody hasn't prepared it, so there's sometimes a limited number of people who feel comfortable getting up to do the haftorah. Some places they do the haftorah, like Freilich or whatever, they do the haftorah from a cloth, right, from a scroll. There you really need to be prepared. Most people are not able to just get up there and, read from Yeshayahu or Yirmiyahu or whatever, they just, pick it up and, no problem. But a lot of times you have, certain people can do the maftir, can do the haftorah, but you have to be careful, because let's say on Yom Kippur, or on a fast day, or on Tisha B'Av, like this past week, the Shlishi is the maftir, so you can't call Kohen, right? You don't want to call a Kohen or a Levi to do the haftarah. So if the only person who knows how to do it is, so you have to have him read and somebody else make the bracha, something like that. But generally you don't want to call him. You want to call Yisrael for those, because you're sort of stuck, because it's one of them is is the 3. And in general, somebody who comes from another town, another place, and says, I'm a Kohen, I'm a Levi, so we believe them. That's a general approach, is we believe them. And it happens sometimes. People come, they say they're Kohen and Levi, and then years later, turns out it was a mistake or something is wrong or whatever. It happens. But general rule is, if somebody says they are, we trust them. You don't have to do a whole drisha v'chakira and investigate.